hasn't dreamt of being a rock god? And for that, you need one of these. Okay, it's not really me playing, it's him. Even if we can't play, we can all play a mean air guitar. Yet who plays air piano? It's astonishing, really, how in just a century this instrument took over music. So I've recruited some actual guitar gods to help explain the game-changing leaps of technology that got us here. And you won't believe where the guitar is going next. Once upon a time, the humble lute, ancestor to the guitar, was vying for our attention with all the other instruments. But at some point, someone went on a quest to make the lute loud. But there was a barrier, which I've asked my humble stunt rock god assistant, Piezo, to help demonstrate. Okay, what do I do?
Well, I'm going to hit a chord.
Yep.
You're going to hit record there.
Here's what happens when you put a microphone in front of a guitar. Sound is air vibrating. The strings vibrate the guitar and the sound is picked up by the microphone. So far, so good. But as we turn the volume up, the air from the speaker is also vibrating, eventually powerfully enough to hit the guitar. The extra vibration is then picked up by the mic, which sends it to the speaker, which loops it back to the guitar. You can really see it on the waveform. And you've got feedback, the arch enemy of the acoustic guitar. So how big a venue can you play with just an acoustic guitar and a microphone?
I'd say probably, any size, but everyone would have to be completely, utterly silent.
So, who are you going to call? Charles Kamen, helicopter engineer in the 1960s.
For years, the whole problem in helicopters is to make them not shake. This guitar, to make it good, it must shake. So you do the opposite.
This was his inspiration. It's a piece of quartz, also known as a piezoelectric crystal. And what that means is that when it vibrates, it generates a tiny voltage. It's used in helicopter design to detect and eliminate vibration. But Kamen had the genius to pop them in a pickup inside the guitar. The crystals just pick up the vibrating strings, not so much outside air, which means now, instead of just playing to hundreds, you could play to thousands. That was the amplified acoustic guitar. But meanwhile, another guitar had been quietly developing, and it would blast the acoustic out of the arena.
I was about 14 or 15 when I got my first electric guitar. The schoolwork went down the toilet.
It's sort of like when someone's shown you how to strike a match for a pyromaniac.
Yeah.
This is the invention that transformed 20th century music. Now the guitar was as loud as the singer, and the guitar god was born.
There are bars if you can get into a stadium. Generally have a massive sound system. Then everything's turned up to 11, and it's bliss.
And this guitar uses a completely different system. Now it's time for a bit of healthy deconstruction.
We've got a electric guitar. We can cover one of the pickups with this screen. So we're going to grab some carefully crafted, handcrafted iron filing.
Yep.
See
there we go.
There we go. Now we can see.
It is magnetic.
It is magnetic.
The strings are steel, so their vibration disrupts the magnetic field, which creates electricity, which is fed to the amp, then speaker, where the process is reversed to produce vibration, sound. With a magnetic pickup, you don't need a hollow guitar, just a lump of wood, so it's more resistant to out-of-control vibration from feedback, which means
It takes a lot more volume to get a plank of wood to resonate to the point where it's creating trouble rather than a hollow box.
That's why you can turn it up to 11. Get close enough to the speaker though, and you can still get some feedback through the pickup itself.
When they first started plugging guitars in, the feedback was technically wrong. You know, on radio they thought it was rousing, it was, you know, sinful or whatever. They just thought it was just wrong and they banned it.
But then people started to like it.
Feedback is a lot of fun because you can play with it. It might give you an octave above or 2 octaves above the note you're actually hitting, and if you grab your tremolo arm and give it a bit of a wiggle, it might produce some other sort of weird harmonic or nuance. Could sound like anything from a cat being strangled to almost cello-like.
It's the sound that still dominates today. But meanwhile, Diesel was upset. He'd gone from being an electric guitar player in the 90s to playing more acoustic, but he had a problem with the volume.
I knew there was more, and I knew that I could get more level, so not be, hang on guys, I'm playing an acoustic, sorry.
Enter this man, a professional guitar maker whose hobby is making little guitars.
Barnesy bought a couple, gave one to Diesel, and he loved it and got in touch with me, and he wanted to pick up, put in them.
My whole idea was that I would be able to get it louder because there wasn't so much body capturing all the feedback.
It's all to do with the so-called fundamental frequency, the frequency at which a whole object vibrates. The higher the fundamental frequency, the louder you can turn up the speaker before you get feedback. A regular hollow acoustic has a fundamental frequency of 120 Hz. But Mark's little guitar has a fundamental frequency of 140 Hz. So thanks to Diesel's understanding of the physics, they invented an acoustic guitar you can turn up 30% louder.
A lot of people were chasing them up because they seen Diesel playing them. Got to be too many orders for me in the shed, so I had to bring them into Mayton to build them.
And now it's everywhere, even if it does prompt the odd comment.
Nice ukulele, or, oh look, he's got Woody from Toy Story's guitar, you know, like, comfortable with my manhood, what can I say?
That was the 90s, but the next game changer is arriving now. It's the Firebird X, but I prefer to call it Robo Guitar. It has automatic tuning amongst other high-tech gizmometry, and this is the first one in Australia.
You just strum and it tunes it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, learning already.
Robo Guitar is Bluetooth enabled, so you can go cordless, and has unlimited programmable effects built in.
Oh, that's a reverse echo, which is really cool.
I think I detect guitar god endorphins.
It's like a blast from the future, this thing.
Yeah. You'd be locking yourself away if you got one of these.
For a while, huh?
People wouldn't hear from you for months.
And all this from the humble loot.
Why the guitar ended up dominating the 20th century, I don't know. I suppose it's you can look a whole lot sexier just playing it than you would, say, harp.